Chapter 7. God. Ian rushed me, swinging his bat with deadly force. I flipped the switch on my sword, pulling it up quickly. I barely blocked his bat from my face. Nails stuck out of the wood with red staining the tips. My eyes widened at the full realization of what was going on, came to mind. He's trying to kill me. I could die. No. I promised to win this game. I pushed Ian away and readied myself for another attack. He seemed to be enjoying himself in a sickening manner. Ian lunged forward again with another swing this time, toward my right shoulder. I raised my sword to block the attack when a sharp pain erupted from my right side. I yelped before gritting my teeth. I looked down to see the digital red fall from my own being. A small pocket knife was now stuck into my gut, a little bit below my ribcage. I twitched slightly as my own gaze met with his. He was enjoying this. It was giving him some thrill. I know it was. I stumbled back a few feet, clenching my side in pain. Ian only laughed a psychotic chuckle. "Isn't this fun, blank?" he grinned. I snarled as I fought for my life. I think I forgot to introduce myself earlier. How rude of me. I am player 4, rank 2, the killer of this game, Ian revealed. Player 4? So that means he's one of the original 5 kids taken here. I could have guessed the killer part. Look, I don't want any trouble, I tried to reason with him. Then I'm the wrong person to be talking to. You see, when I came here, all I had was a phone and a name. I discovered something about myself. I discovered my undying love of the color red. I absolutely love the color, and wish to paint everyone in such a pretty shade. So I decided to put my talents to good use, and find the clues the easiest way I could, by getting rid of those pesky rank 1s. He paused, followed by a shout in anger. But How doesn't understand. After I killed the first one, he went up, and now he won't come out of hiding. How does he expect us to find the killer without letting me kill him? Does he understand that contradicts itself? Look, there are other ways than killing everyone, I argued, avoiding another swing from the crazy. My eyes darted back to the wound which only grew, all in the color he loved so much. I pulled the knife out with a cry that only added to his happiness. Scream! That's right, he shouted. I've already gone over this. I'm not into dudes, I barked. Insolent kid, Ian growled, swinging his bat again. This time it hit me in the gut. I fell to the ground, coughing violently. Ian walked over to me with a stern expression. He kicked me over, so I lay flat on my back. He sat on my chest where he began to punch me across the face in a fury of anger and thrill. My vision began to blur as the loss of blood took its toll. Ian grabbed my chin, lifting my head from my body. Don't fall asleep just yet. We're not done with our game. I spit a metallic mixture of blood and saliva across his cheek. Go to hell, I said. Big talk for the dead, he frowned. His hand wrapped tightly around my neck, lifting me to an almost sitting position. The weight of his body kept me laid. Breathing became impossible as his grip tightened. My eyes shot up to the fake orange sky, narrowing into a blackness that just hasn't taken over, only tempted me with my own end. My lip quivered as I tried to speak. A groan escaped like a whisper. My hand dropped the blue sword, with no grasp left to hold it. My body began to shake as I blinked. This is my favorite part, Ian tightened his grip. The last few seconds before game over. Please, don't do this. He can't hear my thoughts, and even if he could, he wouldn't listen. He'd only walk closer with that metal bar. My eyes began to close as my body could take no more. No! I gritted my teeth, reaching into my coat pocket, pulling out his pocket knife. I moved as quickly as I could, stabbing the knife into his side, pulling it in and out until he let me go. I coughed, throwing up slightly. I grabbed my throat, gasping at the cold air that entered my lungs. I rolled over to my knees, throwing up a mixture of blood and stomach acid. I looked back at Ian as I continued to breathe rapidly. Ian stared at his own hand, covered in the color he loved so much. He giggled, much like a young girl, before looking over at me. Aren't you fun? He laughed. I only growled, much like a dog. Ian's breath was just as rapid as unsteady as my own. We remained in a state of unsettling silence. Hey, Blank, I have a proposition for you, Ian huffed. Join our team. No one has ever fought back like you before. What do you say? Like I said before, go to hell, I snapped. Ian pushed himself up from the ground, wobbling slightly in the blurred lines of reality and the darkness of my mind. Fine. Die out here, he gasped. Ian walked away from the red-covered scene, holding his right side. My arms began to shake from holding up my body weight as Ian limped away. I can't join him. I won't. I mean, he just tried to kill me. But then again, I don't want to die. My vision began to double and cross as I stared at the concrete. My arms gave out, as well as my sight. Blackness. Hurry it up, a sweet voice mumbled with a slight echo. This isn't exactly my strong suit, you know, another voice called. How bad is he? He'll be fine. The punctures missed his organs. He's lucky you were there, Alex, the first voice rung. I thought he was dead. Honestly, I just wanted his credits. My eyes squinted with a groan. He's getting up, the first voice announced. I opened my eyes to see two women standing in front of me. I'm inside somewhere, I think. The walls are brick, but smooth and white. The floors were a tan tile with some broken and chipped pieces. The room was modernly empty, with only a few chairs and a cabinet in the corner. I think I'm lying on a table that took up the center of the room. How did I get here? Where is here? Who are they? I looked back at the two girls. The first was young, 15. Her hair was long and dirty with slight brown coloring. Her freckled face framed her young auburn eyes. She couldn't be more than 5'4" with a light weight. She wore a pair of short sport shorts and a white soccer shirt with a ball in the center of her flat chest. The second was taller, maybe 5'6" or 7. She appeared older as well, 18 or 19. Her skin was tan with a blonde ponytail. Her eyes were an ice blue with a protective glare. She wore a black sports bra and black leggings with a pink waistline. Are you okay? The smaller girl asked. I lifted my hand to my face to feel a pull against my right side. I winced before returning my arm to its side. I looked to see that it was now shirtless, with white bandages wrapped around the lower half of my torso, with a red stain stretching across the right side. I looked at the two girls. Thank you. My voice was raspy and low. You're welcome. My name is Olive, and this is Alex, the younger girl pointed out. My name is John, I sighed in pain. Hello there, John. Alex brought you here after you and Ian fought. I did the best I could, and I think you'll be fine, Olive smiled sweetly. Where am I exactly? I asked. Territory 2. The hospital outside of town, maybe 20 minutes away from where you were, Alex answered. Could someone please explain what territory is? I asked lightly. There are 4 teams in this world, and we all have claimed land. One is led by Player 1, Hal. Team 2, our team, is led by Maria, the map. Team 3 is led by Player 4, Ian. Team 4 is led by CC, the princess. We all control certain areas where our rules become law. I know that in Territory 1, other players are forbidden unless given permission. I mean, I can't blame Hal for doing that. He's seen everyone die right in front of his eyes, and I'm sure he doesn't want that again, Alex said. You're new here, aren't you? Olive asked. I've only been here 2 days, I admitted. 3 months, Olive sighed. 5, Alex huffed. There was a moment of silence between us, as we were at a loss for words. I cleared my throat to try to break the awkward gap. Thanks, again, I smiled. No problem, Olive grinned. Cell phones rang through the room. All faces turned an icy pale as Olive walked away from the room. Alex helped me stand with a throbbing pain in my side. She allowed me to lean on her for support as we left the room. We walked down a seemingly endless hallway before making it through the side door of the hospital. 2 other girls joined us. The first was tall, 6'3" with a small appearance. Her hair was a silky black against her icy skin. She had a friendly face with inviting brown eyes. She wore a unitard, blue with a bright yellow skirt. She appeared to be 16. The other girl was shorter, 5'6" with short, boy-cut hair. It was a light blonde that came over her left blue eye. She wore a brown tank top with a jean jacket with black shorts. She seemed to be 17 or 18. Maria, Olive pointed to the shorter girl. Viola, Alex stated, motioning toward the taller one. The black skies faded to a neon white and blue with the words, Player Rankings, written in text font. The blue letters cleared for the next message. The sky remained blank for a moment before my stomach curled. You think I'm not God? My eyes widened as my jaw dropped as the message cleared for the next. A video, almost like one that would be online, appeared in the sky. A computer mouse scrolled onto the black video screen, clicking it once. A buffer scrolled across the screen before the video began to appear. It was me, but yet it wasn't. A boy. He looked like me. Maybe he was. He lay against a rotted wooden wall. He sat on the floor with his head against the wall, leaning slightly to the right, away from the video recorder. His eyes were closed, and lips were slightly parted in a chilling manner. Blood covered the wall, where it appeared he slid down the tan coloring, along with more down the right side of his face. There were strange wires attached to sensors on the head of the boy. They were attached to a large box that looked like a computer tower. Is that me? He's wearing the same thing I am. He looks just like me, of course. It's not. I'm not dead. I'm clearly living. The camera scanned the room. There were beds upon beds of teens laying in them. The people in the beds were hooked up to a bunch of wires and tubes. There was a constant sound of beeping. The screen turned back to me. Dark leather gloves came onto screen. The hand reached down and grabbed me by the throat. I felt the pressure against my throat. I tried to call out as the pressure grew. I clawed at my skin and fell to my knees as I fought against an invisible force. I had no idea what was happening. The concern on the faces of the girls around me was evident. My world was growing spotty and the face on the screen was growing blue. Tears spilled out the corners of my eyes. I felt my body going numb and the sound muffled. I was fighting to keep my eyes open when the hands let go. I gasped as air filled my lungs again. I coughed and spat up. The hands put an oxygen mask on my face, and soon the cold relief of air filled my lungs. Olivia patted my back as I coughed. Letters formed across the screen again, ending the video feed. Who's a sicko now?